What it do, peeps? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, man. And look, it's Friday, but I guess it really doesn't matter because with the COVID-19, we're just stuck in the house. And those of us that do go out from time to time, got to make sure we wear our masks. I ordered a Dallas Cowboys face mask. I hope it comes soon because now they're mandating us in the DMV to wear it outside. Now, I don't understand, me personally, I don't understand why it's mandated to wear it unless you're in a confined place with people because again, this as we know and what doctors say, this virus is not suspended in the air. It's drip, meaning like you get it from somebody else, direct contact from another individual. I mean, you even go into the grocery stores now and they got like one way aisles and only a certain amount of people in the aisle at the time. And it's crazy right now. But I just hope there's an end to this soon because it's affecting everything. It's affecting the NFL draft. It's affecting the NFL off season. It's affecting everything as far as going into this football season. Not just football, but the NBA too. They're trying to figure out if they're just gonna just do a playoff based on the teams that are here now, or just say scrap this season and just wait till next season, which is for them will be November. But they start training camp in like September, so it's crazy. So, I mean, it's affecting everything right now, and they always say that you don't realize what you have until you lose it. And right now we're losing. And we're feeling the effects of everything. And I understand it's frustrating for everybody, but hey, at least we got YouTube. At least we get to talk to each other via video thanks to technology nowadays. And it's what it is. The weather's crazy here. It's windy as hell. I don't understand. The wind's blowing ridiculously hard for no reason. And I can't get to a barbershop. I'm looking ugly and scruffy, but hey, you gonna get this ugly face today, baby. Woohoo! You gonna get it. You gonna get it today. But anywho, with that being said, I really think that as far as the NFL draft, I think they need to push it back at least till May because people are saying that maybe things will come to a head in May. Maybe things will start to come back to normal in May. I don't know. But who else here is unemployed now outside of me because of COVID-19? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, my job furloughed me until further notice. Like, I still got a job, but I'm technically unemployed right now until this COVID-19. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but it is what it is. I told my credit card companies, I said, look here, I ain't got it, bro. So this is the thing. Now, if they still do the draft exactly the day it is, as we know, everything is going to be virtual. The Dallas Cowboys and of course other teams have already started doing their video chats, interviews with different players. So when you look at these players that the Dallas Cowboys are looking at, right? Some of them may be on what would have been the Dallas Cowboys 30 visit list. But just because they're interviewing the guys doesn't mean they're necessarily interested in those particular players. Because again, what I tell you guys before, everything's a smoke screen. No team is going to tell you exactly what they want. Now we know that Joe Burrow is going to the Bengals unless they decide to trade out of that pick. That's the only thing that's pretty much guaranteed. Any other pick in this draft? I mean, maybe you could say Chase Young going to the Redskins is a lock because if they don't choose him, that'd be stupid. But Redskins do stupid stuff, so it is what it. But you look at the first two picks in the draft, that's pretty much a lock. The Lions, they're talking about trading back, which I don't know why, because Jeff Okudah is right there, and I would love for the Dallas Cowboys to get Jeff Okudah, the best cornerback in the league, but it's probably not going to happen. Well, not probably. It ain't going to happen because, he's not going to get out of the top five, period. They got Tua Tagovailoa going to maybe the Dolphins or whatever at 5, but, who knows? You never know. People going to trade up. People going to trade down. Some people are speculating the Cowboys are going to trade down. I look at it like this. I think that the Cowboys could stay pat at 17 and still get a decent guy. Because again, even if you don't get CJ Henderson, you still got Christian Fulton, which will be a reach because I think that he's more of a low second pick rather than a high first. But that's just my opinion. I had my mock draft for Xavier McKinney, the best safety in the draft. Either that or you could get Chase-On. Chase-On's there, the edge rusher. If he's there. I don't like AJ Epinesa. he's too slow. I need a fast guy off the edge. If you're gonna pick an edge rusher, he's got to be quick off the line. AJ Epinesa ran a 5.4. I'm not with that. Um, I mean, there's different options that you could pick there. That's going to be there. And let's stop with this whole getting a wide receiver in the first round. Let's stop that. Stop that. I know that Jerry Jeudy is the best route runner in the draft. I know that Henry Ruggs III is the fastest wide receiver in the draft. And I know that CeeDee Lamb is the most dynamic wide receiver in the draft. But there are other good receivers that are there throughout the draft. I mean, you could get a guy in the fourth round that could potentially be a starter for your team. I'm just saying. That's how deep this wide receiver core is. So, guys, let's not get hooked on these particular guys because they're going to be gone. Because I think both the Raiders and the Vikings have 2 first-round draft picks. But whatever. Even as a DB, I like Trayvon Diggs, Stephon Diggs' younger brother. But I don't think the Vikings are going to get him. That'd be stupid for the Vikings to get Trayvon Diggs because they just traded his older brother, Stephon Diggs, away. So if there's animosity there, why would you pick his brother? That's just stupid. It's dumb to me. But, teams do dumb stuff like the Texans. First of all, let's talk about the Texans for a second. The Texans, as you know, got rid of Anthony Hopkins for a damn ham sandwich, their best receiver. Then they go and get our slot receiver, Randall Cobb. And then they just traded for Brandon Cooks, which contract is what, $16 million a year already? You might as well have kept Hopkins and paid him because you gave up a second-round pick for Brandon Cooks from the Rams. But when you look at the grand scheme of things and with numbers, you might as well have kept Hopkins. So, which tells me that you had an issue with DeAndre Hopkins. It was personal. So, that's the only thing that makes sense. Bill O'Brien, he does dumb stuff, but, let Eastside Herald tell you that the MF and Texans all day. Anywho, back to the Dallas Cowboys. So, as I said, with the draft being virtual, it's going to be really weird. You got a lot of older people that are dealing with technology here. And I think the draft is going to be hilarious. And because I'm looking at it right now, like the way they're doing it, like via video, it's going to be some problems. It's guaranteed going to be some hiccups. I don't know if they got to do a dry run of the draft. I don't know how you could do a dry run of the draft because, the picks are supposed to be secret. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But they got to do something because I really believe that they should push the draft back at least till May something to just see if we can get this COVID-19 over with. That way we can come back to and if we can maybe we can go to the draft again. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe after this thing has dissipated. I don't know. I just think that Roger Goodell is being selfish. I just think that they need to really just push it back a little bit because this whole virtual thing, I don't think it's going to work out as well as they think it will. Because again, there's going to be some problems. There's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be somebody trying to hack somebody's system. It's something going to happen. So you best believe that. Now, going forward, let's talk a little bit about the Cowboys going forward and what they've done, what they can do, and what makes sense. So, I always try to bring a different perspective to you guys when I talk. I don't just say things off a whim. Like I very meticulously think about the stuff that I want to talk about and what I'm going to do and things of that nature. So we know that the Dallas Cowboys got 2 fatties in the middle. We got Dontari Poe. We got Gerald McCoy. Tyrone Crawford, the team still likes Tyrone Crawford. I know some of you guys are done with him, but think about when he wasn't on the field, as opposed to when he was on the field. We got gashed a lot when he was out on his hip surgery. When he played in the game, things seemed like they worked pretty well. You remember when we had him, we had David Irving, we had a healthy mix of things. So I figure if you have a fatty in the middle, you got Tyrone Crawford switching up as a 3-tech and an outside edge rusher, everything works out. Because those are the 2 spots that he's good at, 3-tech and outside edge rusher. So you can have a backup with that, and with Alden Smith being here, you could rotate with Dorrance Armstrong. Again, they got guys still right now, even before the draft, that can swing around and do some things. But the fact that you solidified the middle of that line definitely helps this team. with the addition of Alden Smith. Now, real quick about Alden Smith. Now, there was a tape that came out, a video of him running really, really fast on a treadmill, and this is in January. And you know, as Jay Glazer says, you know, he hedges his bet on on Alden Smith, basically saying that, you know, he's in shape, he's doing what he needs to do, and I agree, he looks good. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I like to stay optimistic. I'm not going to get excited about it, but I'm going to be optimistic. The guy did, you know, 5 years, but 4 football seasons out of the league. You know, a guy coming back from addiction and mental issues and things of that nature. You know, it kind of, you know, it's hard. Now I know that the Dallas Cowboys have, you know, they signed they hired a guy on the team to be like a mental coach to these players and things of that nature. So that should help out. Um, Alden Smith really likes Mike McCarthy. He respects Mike McCarthy. Jim Tom Sula was his position coach when he was in San Francisco. So I think that the coaches have a good idea of who Alden Smith is today as opposed to what he was in his Raider days and in his 49er days. I think that for them to make a move like this, the Cowboys seem like they're confident in what they will have with Alden Smith right now. So I'm just going to hedge my bets on believing what they're saying right now because, again, I'm just going to stay optimistic about it. I'm not going to be excited. I'm not going to, you know, go overboard with it. It is what it is. I'm just speaking in reality and with the most realism that I can give you because you already know that's all I do is keep it real. So I'm going to give it to you straight up all day. You know, we can't make any promises. We don't know what the future is going to be like. But if Alden Smith can be half of the player that he was then, that's all the Cowboys need right now. Because what they're going to do with this defensive line, they're going to rotate anyway. So it doesn't matter. It's going to be a rotation of guys. So that's just how I feel about Alden Smith. He'll be all right. If he gets you at least 6 or 7 sacks, it's a good year. It's a good year. Now, he's a low risk, high reward guy. You're only paying $2 million base salary, and 4 if he gets over, I think, 12 to 14 sacks. He probably not going to get that. Now, if he does, you need to re-sign that mofo again because that means that he had a great year and he's back to form, baby. He out here killing quarterbacks. You hear me? But that's just that situation. Now, you know, that's a far cry. But I'm just saying. Now, you look at the issues that the Cowboys have. You know, that's a need. You need edge rushers. You need DBs. You lost Byron Jones. You know, you re-signed Anthony Brown. I know some of you guys don't like Anthony Brown, but he's one of the fastest guys on the team still. Y'all got to give him a little bit of credit. You know what I mean? He may not be a starting caliber, but he's definitely a good backup. He's definitely a good backup. And I think and I believe wholeheartedly that this defense, this new scheme that we're going to be running, is going to be beneficial to J. Lou, Cheeto, and Xavier Woods. All those guys in the back end, I think that it's going to help them. And if we can stay strong up front, it will help them even more. So you got Clinton Dix. I think that he'll play good under Mike McCarthy because he's been there with him before. You know, Al Harris, which is a former Packer himself, which is now one of the secondaries coaches, he can still instill that in as well. So things could be even better. So I'm just looking optimistically about things. If you do get a Xavier McKinney in the draft in the first round, that'd be cool because you can add him to that safety room and you can have even a fresher rotation of guys. And that's what it's all about now because you got to replace Jeff Heath. You got to replace all these special teamers that you lost. We don't know what's going to happen to Kayvon Frazier. He's still not signed and nobody else signed him yet. So who knows? They can be doing things at the last minute. We don't know. Now, you look at another hole on this team. You look at slot receiver. You know, they can go back and sign Tavon Austin, or they can get a guy like KJ Hill in the 3rd or 4th round. I would like that as well. I like KJ Hill. He'd be perfect position for that slot. Or you can get Claypool. I mean, whatever. There's some guys in the draft. Again, there's wide receivers all throughout this draft, so it's really no rush to get what you want. You could just sit back and just pick where you pick and just get these guys because that's where it is. Unless they want to reach a little bit for, you know, somebody that they're really looking for, but that's about it. Now, you look at the offensive line. We lost Travis Frederick. He retired. Joe Looney, I think Joe Looney is pretty much the next person in line. Connor McGovern is going to try to battle him out to that position. We'll see what happens with that. I really like Joe Looney. I like what he did when Travis Frederick was out the first time. He did pretty decent. He wasn't that bad. I know that Dak got sacked a couple of times, but I think what Travis Frederick brings to the table, most other centers will not. So trying to get on Travis Frederick's level as a center is going to be hard to do. You're not going to duplicate what Travis Frederick has brought to this team, period. And I think that he got snubbed not being on that Decades team, especially because y'all knew that he was going to be retired, and y'all knew that he was going through this stuff. Y'all should have put him on that all decades, on that 2010s decades list, which I think was really messed up that they didn't do that. But it is what it is. He knows his worth. We know Travis Frederick's worth, and we love him as well. So that's all there is to it. Now, again, the guys that I chose in my mock draft, the Nick guy from Washington, you can get him. There's some guys that you can get in the later rounds that can maybe help fight for that opportunity to be a center guard, and then you might want to pick up a tackle as well, either there or undrafted free agents, because an undrafted free agent linemen are pretty good too, because again, a lot of linemen don't get drafted like that, unfortunately, unless you're just dynamic as hell. Because a lot of them end up being undrafted free agents, and they come to a team and they show their work, and they get into a system and they get really good. Like, remember when we had Ron Leary? He was undrafted, guys, out of Memphis. So we'll see what happens. So, I mean, there's an opportunity they can bring Leary back unless he got signed by somebody else. I haven't heard anything about it, but we'll see. But that's just a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys, of what they've done so far and what we can do going forward. Looking forward to the draft. You guys go back and look at my 2 live streams where I did 2 different mock drafts. You can go back and look at those and see the guys that I chose. Let me know what you guys think about those. And going forward, just looking forward to it. I ordered my draft hat for this year. Hopefully I'll get it before the draft so I can wear it on my live stream so you guys can see it. But we'll see what happens. But with that being said, y'all, that's all I got for today. It's your boy E2 Blue. Always keep it real. Talk to y'all soon. Of course, like, share, comment.